The William & Mary Washington Center integrates academics and experiential learning to produce high-impact opportunities for all. For 20 years, we've facilitated meaningful connections and provided a place of belonging for the entire William & Mary community. As we celebrate William & Mary in Washington, we are bringing you monthly videos that celebrate the center's rich history and consider its future. This month, we're highlighting the internship and professional development opportunities available to students through the Washington Center. This month, we caught up with Gay Hee Lee and Olivia Yang to talk about how their Washington Center mentor-mentee relationship changed their outlook on networking, career development, and alumni connections.
My top memory of being a mentee was when Gay and I grabbed dinner just at a little restaurant off of DuPont Circle. It was a blazing hot day. I remember just sweating through whatever very nice business clothes I had put on for the opportunity. And we had a lovely meal and a lovely time chatting about everything that was going on. I was very, very nervous to meet somebody who was a professional in the DC world. I was very, very confused about how to get to where we were on the metro. I was very concerned with everything. And then I was able to meet Gay, and it was like, oh, okay, this is somebody I can have a real conversation with. This is going to be great.
Oh, Olivia, it's so funny you say that because I remember that dinner too. It was so good. It was so good.
It was a great meal. It was delicious.
I remember the meal. Believe it or not, I remember I was nervous too because it was a really busy time at work, and I kept having we'd been trying to get coffee, and we just kept the timing never seemed to work, and finally it was we're gonna do this. And I was so stressed, but it was so much fun, like meeting you and talking to you, and it was kind of what I needed. It was like a night out.
That's a relief. I was sweating so heavily. I had brought a backpack to the restaurant because I think I came straight from a class. I was pretty easy to pick out of a crowd because I had a big backpack on. The thing that I liked most about the process of being a mentee and having a mentor in DC was that whenever I had a question, I could field it over to somebody who would actually know the answer. Coming into DC and being totally out of my depth in kind of the world, and being able to have somebody that I knew would have an answer, and one that would apply to me, an answer that would apply to me in my current position and where I was currently, was great. I sort of felt like I always had somebody in my corner, a little backup in DC if I needed help. That was probably my favorite part of being a mentee, was that sense of security almost, that I knew somebody, and I knew somebody who would be willing to lend a hand.
So for me, the best part of the mentoring-mentee process is really seeing my mentee grow. A lot of times it's not like I have regular interactions with my mentee. Sometimes it's months, sometimes it's years, but looking at Olivia and remembering her as a student, but then now seeing her working at CBO, knowing what that is, knowing what she's doing, it's exciting because I do see that growth. I don't know if they see it themselves, but I see the growth even just in how they present themselves. There's a growth in confidence. There's an excitement about, starting your first job. And I think watching that growth over time is the most rewarding part of this whole mentoring process.
The one thing that I would like to take forward from the mentoring process is my own desire to be a mentor now and to help other people as I have been helped. I would love to be able to try to get other alumni into it, like bring my friends in to sort of create a network of mentors into the process. And I really, really enjoy getting to know Gay and getting to know more about DC in the process. Getting to know about DC was an auxiliary benefit. Really, it was wonderful to meet a mentor. And now I know the DC subway system much better. And my geography of the Hill is much greater. That's definitely something that I'm going to take with me into daily life.
I do learn something from each of my mentees. There's a little nugget of something that I get from each of them. And even when we follow up, they tell me what their friends are doing. They tell me about what's happening with them, with everyone around them. And so there's always a little something to learn about, to carry forward. And there's always something really memorable. And even if it's not sort of a piece of advice for me to maybe pass on or share, it is a reminder as to why I do it. Again, I think with Olivia, the one thing that I remember most was just the enthusiasm. So enthusiastic, so ready to take on the world. And it really was something that I found inspiring, because I kind of needed that, really, given the day that we'd had when we met. I think it was just like, oh, that is like a breath of fresh air. And that sort of feeling is what I carry forward most from being a mentor.